Good morning, everyone. My name is Omar Algabra. I'm the Member of Parliament for Mississauga Centre. I am here with my Mississauga caucus colleagues. Obviously, Minister Valdez will be making the announcement, but I'm also here with MP Charles Souza, MP Equinder Gahir, MP Ikra Khalid, MP Peter Fonseca. And did I miss anybody else? I think I named them all. We're all delighted to be here with Mayor Crombie, City Council members, to celebrate a real important announcement. First, let me start off by recognizing that we are on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, and today we're celebrating an important milestone. A milestone that recognizes the hard work of different levels of government working together to serve Canadians, to respond to the housing crisis that we're witnessing across the country and here in Mississauga. So I am really looking forward to the announcements. Great news for the people of Mississauga, and I'd like to hand over the mic to Minister Valdez.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Omar. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you, Omar, for that kind introduction. It's great to join Mayor Bonnie Crombie and also my friends Ikra, Peter Iquinder, and Charles today, along with all our Mississauga councillors. It is so great to be back home together for an incredible announcement for the people of Mississauga. On behalf of Minister Fraser, it is my pleasure to make today's announcement. It's about something fundamental and basic to people's lives. It's about homes. Il s'agit de maisons. The program we're announcing is built on a simple idea, helping municipalities change how houses get built in our communities so that in turn we can overcome the housing crisis. This is about coming together as a society to build more homes faster here in our community of Mississauga. So I'm happy to announce that the City of Mississauga will receive nearly $113 million through the Housing Accelerator Fund to deliver significant, lasting changes to the way homes are built in our great city. Changes that will tear down the barriers that slow housing down. Today's announcement will help build over 3,000 new homes and more than 35,200 homes over the next decade. New homes for neighbors who will frequent your small business, new friends who will help you shovel your driveway after a snowstorm, new community members who will make Mississauga even greater than it already is. There are things that the Housing Accelerator Fund is supporting. This goes even further beyond Mississauga. I'm incredibly proud that to date, we have signed 12 agreements with cities across Canada and an agreement with Quebec to cut through red tape and build more homes now. Through the Housing Accelerator Fund, our government is working together with municipalities towards our shared goal of fast-tracking the creation of at least 100,000 homes from coast to coast to coast over the next 3 years. Cities and regions across Canada estimate that this will lead to the creation of over 250 housing units over the next 10 years. And so today, we're announcing this exciting new plan for the City of Mississauga. But we're also showing you a strengthened and more profound partnership between our two orders of government. The 8 initiatives that the City of Mississauga has proposed will speed up the creation of more homes and strengthen the infrastructure needed to make those homes work for the people of this city. Today's announcement speaks to the value of the Housing Accelerator Fund and its ability to get our government and municipal governments like Mississauga on the same page, working side by side for Canadian families. It's a new way of working, and it comes at a time when we really need it most, because business as usual will not solve the dramatic housing challenges we face today. What we need is bold action and fearless innovation. We need systemic change to how we build homes in this country. C'est ce que le Fonds pour accélérer la construction de logements visait à accomplir. Et c'est ce qui s'est fait aujourd'hui, and that's what the Housing Accelerator Fund was designed to deliver, and it's delivering that today. This initiative will help build more homes near public transportation, improve transit in our city, and improve our cycling network by 33 kilometers. Systemic change also means partnering with the region to build housing for those in need. We can do this by pre-zoning properties, fast-tracking approvals, and partnering with the region to address financial shortfalls and equity considerations. Additionally, systemic change also looks like incentivizing affordable rental housing through our community improvement plan and investigating the possible reduction or elimination of application fees for nonprofit organizations. These sorts of changes will improve the housing situation in Mississauga now, and they will keep paying off long into the future. This announcement today and the Housing Accelerator Fund as a whole builds on past successes we've had under a national housing strategy. The strategy is taking on housing affordability in Canada from a bunch of different angles at once. It is providing support for people across the country with a focus on those who need it most. It's making sure we have the right kind of supply where we need it. And it's fostering innovation and changing the traditional ways things are done in the housing sector. It's building a better housing system that leaves no one behind and ensures that our children and generations to come have access to affordable and safe housing. Because we're not just building homes. The plan we're announcing today is building a stronger local community for all the people who call Mississauga home. Thank you and merci, and I'll pass it right back over to Omar.
Thank you very much, Minister Valdez, about this exciting announcement. Now it gives me great pleasure to welcome and introduce our great mayor, Mayor Bonnie Crombie.
Well, thank you all for joining us this morning. Good morning and bonjour tout le monde. Thank you, Minister Valdez and the federal government for this incredible announcement. This marks an important milestone in our city's commitment to building more homes. In my conversations with Minister Fraser, I know how much he wanted to be here with us today. So if he's listening, I want to thank him and his staff for working so closely with us to get us here to today. I'd like to acknowledge our dedicated city councillors who've played a very important role in the progress that we're making today. Of course, Ward 2 Councillor Alvin Tedjo, and also seconding the motion with him, Councillor Carolyn Parrish, who wasn't able to be with us, but she did second the motion initially. Ward 3 Councillor Chris Fonseca is with us. Ward 4 Councillor John Kovac. Ward 6 Councillor Joe Hornick. Ward 7 Councillor Deepika Demirla, and Ward 9 Councillor Martin Reed. Thank you all for joining us today, as well as our City Manager, Sherry Lichterman, is with us. I also want to express our gratitude for all our Mississauga members of Parliament for joining us today, for their advocacy and for their support. Nearly $113 million over the next 3 years. So when I say this is big and monumental, I really mean it. It single-handedly represents the largest investment any level of government has ever made in housing in Mississauga. It recognizes our city's commitment to addressing the pressing issue of housing supply and affordability, and that by working together, we can achieve great things. It also recognizes how ambitious and committed we are to helping get shovels in the ground. In addition to the 3,000 units this funding will help us fast track, we expect to approve permits for more than 13,000 new homes by 2026. As Ontario's third largest city, with a growing population approaching 1 million residents in the next 30 years, we can't afford not to act quickly to address the growing housing crisis. I've always said that in order to deliver more housing, we need to be bold and innovative. One way our council is doing this is by officially approving fourplexes citywide. This isn't just a commitment to building fourplexes. We're moving full steam ahead and have officially passed our bylaw, meaning that Mississauga is now a leader in this regard. I want to give special thanks to both councillors, Councillor Parrish and Councillor Stejo, for their efforts in moving this initiative forward. Not only was it the right thing to do, but it will help us build the missing middle in our neighborhoods while keeping today's funding applications on the table. We know that a balanced mix of housing options, including fourplexes, triplexes, rental, purpose-built rental, affordable housing, and home ownership is essential to getting more housing built and will get us one step closer to meeting our housing targets. We also know that solving the housing crisis requires collaboration among all levels of government. And today's announcement is about just that, collaboration and working together with the federal government to get the job done, get shovels in the ground, and get housing built quickly. As we approach our 50th anniversary next year, I'm reminded how far we've come. From farmland and fruit trees to a sleepy suburb, and now the country's 7th largest city that's quickly growing and has become a beacon of hope and a place where you can truly live the Canadian dream. And currently, with 33 cranes in the sky and 3,500 permits approved over this past year and 11,000 units under construction, we are well on our way. And while the road ahead presents its own set of challenges and opportunities, today's announcement will direct support 8 of the goals of our Growing Mississauga plan and is another step forward in ensuring we meet our goal of building 120,000 new homes in the next decade. So on behalf of my colleagues on council and the people of Mississauga, I extend our sincere gratitude to the Government of Canada for your invaluable support. Together, we will continue to build more homes for the future for our beloved city. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mayor Crombie. Let me again reiterate what some have said. Thank you to Minister Fraser for his leadership across the country. Thank you, Minister Valdez. Thank you to my caucus colleagues for their advocacy. Thank you to Mayor Crombie for her leadership. Thank you to my colleagues at City Council who are here and those who are not here for their hard work. This is a great example of how governments are working together to achieve results for Canadians. And I want to thank you all for coming out here. This is the holiday season, so I want to wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And now we're ready to take your questions. I know Nadine Ramadan, the Communications Director of Minister Valdez, will moderate your questions.
Thank you. We'll now begin the question and answer period of this press conference. It will be one question and one follow-up per reporter. We'll start with questions from media in the room and then move to media on the line virtually. Just to also to add, Mayor Crombie is happy to answer any questions related to today's announcement or to city matters. Anything related to her role as leader can be referred to the Ontario Liberal Party. Thank you. And do we have a first question?
To the federal minister, as Claude Leroy from CBC, how quickly is this money going to be flowing into Mississaugas?
That's a great question. So initially, to get the agreements started, there will be a 25% that will be put forward to help start the action plans with the City of Mississauga, and then the funding will then trickle forward annually over 3 years.
And are there any strings attached to that, like performance for them to get the money?
I think that's a great question. We are working on our agreements with the City of Mississauga, and as long as they follow through with the arrangements that we've made, there's no strings attached. This is funding that is for the City of Mississauga, which is a very exciting announcement.
And if I could, to Mayor Crombie, how will the city keep tabs on the companies who are applying for this money? I'm assuming that's how it will be distributed to make sure that the money is actually going into the construction.
So the money is going to a variety of initiatives, but generally to support infrastructure needed for growth and, of course, helping us unlock growth and development around transit stations, building more affordable housing. So, of course, we'll be keeping tabs. We'll put those key benchmarks in place in the agreements that we reach with those companies. So we will definitely keep tabs. We want to achieve our goals, and we want to do it ahead of schedule. Thank you.
Okay, next question.
Morning, it's Steve Cornwell from the Mississauga News. Question for Minister Valdez. My understanding is the amount of money today is $113 million. I know that Vancouver got $115 million. I believe Calgary had over $200 million. Can you just kind of clarify for us and perhaps explain how Mississauga has gotten this amount of money and why it wasn't higher or lower? Kind of what are the issues that the government's deciding in terms of how much money is being distributed?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So initially when cities put forward their proposal towards the federal government, so what we do is we take a look at the different initiatives that each city will put forward. In this case, the city of Mississauga put forward 8 great initiatives that will help, alleviate barriers to construction of housing. And in this case, because of those 8 initiatives that they put forward, that has allowed us to put forward the $112 million for the development of over 3,000 homes over 3 years, and then 35,200 plus homes over the next 10 years.
Thank you. And perhaps for Mayor Crombie, I know city staff had estimated ballpark the amount of money they may get from the Housing Accelerator Fund at $120 million. Does the kind of $7 million less, does that change the city's plans as far as what it can do with this?
Listen, we're grateful for the funding. I'm not going to complain. It's not the amount that we originally anticipated, and it's some of the highest per unit funding that has been allocated. So we're extremely grateful that we're being assisted by the federal government to build the 3,000 units, and we thank them.
Okay, thank you. I believe that's all the questions we have today. And there are no questions on the line, as I understand. So that is the end of this Q&A period. Thank you.